Walking simulator games are an interesting type of video game. Rather than having a lot of action, walking simulators are exactly what they sound like. They heavily focus on their stories, often with mystery or horror elements, depending on the game, in which players simply walk around and explore. Most of these titles are short and can be beaten in just a couple of hours or so. Because of this, many gamers underestimate how great the genre can actually be. Now, it goes without saying that fans who love unique adventure titles and mysterious stories will have a great time with the following games, some of which are legendary for all the right reasons. Hi there everyone, welcome to Game Rant, Geoffrey here. In today's video, I'll be showcasing 10 of the very best walking simulators that you should definitely check out. Let's dive into the list. Number 10, Dear Esther. Dear Esther begins once the main character arrives right on the island. As the players explore the island, they can hear the man read letters to a woman named Esther. It is up to the players to determine what these beautifully written letters actually mean in order to figure out the true story of the game. As the story progresses, players see how stunning the island is. Finally, they reach the top of it, where the main character wanted to go all along in order to be with Esther. Number 9, Tacoma. A sci-fi walking simulator that takes place on an abandoned space station, Tacoma wields this setting brilliantly to craft an immersive narrative. Players are tasked with uncovering the mystery behind the disappearance of the crew while gaining valuable information from its central AI system, Odin. The game was made by Fulbright, the developers behind the critically and commercially successful walking simulator game Gone Home, but more on that later. While Tacoma was certainly bigger in scope, it didn't manage to capture the same energy, which was definitely a shame for some. Number 8, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. After a boy named Ethan Carter disappears, Paul Prospero, an investigator, searches for him. As players explore the town that Ethan lives in, they find that nobody else is around either. However, players can use Paul's detective skills to figure out things that the people who were there had done before the game even began. Throughout this title, Paul has supernatural encounters that are the last thing one would expect in a small, quiet town. These encounters, however, pave the way to learning what happened to Ethan and his family, with the answer coming as quite a surprise. Number 7, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, this game has the player explore an abandoned town. They must learn about the people who lived in the town and what was going on in their lives before they all disappeared. Two scientists, Stephen and Kate, discovered a disease that can kill people without making contact with others. It can infect people through technology, and the victims disappear after they pass. Though the main story of the game is the struggle that the scientists face against the disease, there are quite a few other side stories to dive into and immerse yourself in. Number 6, The Unfinished Swan. After a woman who didn't complete her painting of a swan dies, her son, Monroe, finds himself inside an artist's world, for reasons that you'll find out. Players control him as he follows the swan and learns the story of the king who ruled this world. With its creative design and the history of the king's world, The Unfinished Swan is one of the most unique walking simulators ever created. Number 5, Firewatch. When Henry tried to escape his life by becoming a firewatcher, he had no idea how scary the job would actually be. At the beginning of the game, players learn about the life he led leading up to his arrival at Shoshone National Forest in Wyoming, and there they can make decisions on the experiences he had. Once Henry starts speaking to another firewatcher and his boss Delilah, the two work together to uncover mysteries in the forest, though they never actually see each other in the game. However, it may have been best if they never searched for the answers to these questions. Number 4, Gone Home. Before the events of Gone Home kicked off, Katie's family had moved to a new house that she had never even seen before. When she moves there and expects to see them, she is surprised to find that they aren't even around. Players control Katie as she searches for answers to figure out where they are. In doing so, she learns a lot of things about her sister Sam that she didn't know before. Number 3, The Stanley Parable. After going to work one day to find that he hadn't been given any instructions on his job, Stanley finds out that his coworkers and boss are nowhere to be seen. I think we're finding a theme on this list. Exploring the building, he discovers that the company he works for has been controlling his mind, the usual. To get his life back, Stanley escapes, turns the power of the mind control machine off, and goes outside, only to find himself back in the building. Players control Stanley as they try to escape the company, but every time something goes wrong. Multiple endings await players as they make different choices each time around. Number 2, What Remains of Edith Finch. What Remains of Edith Finch is often regarded as the greatest game in this genre. The story is about a girl, of course, named Edith Finch, who returns to her childhood home after being away for many, many years. She explores areas of the house that she has never seen before and learns more about her family's unfortunate cursed history. As Edith learns about how her relatives passed, players get to switch between playing as Edith and her various family members. Each death in this story tells a unique narrative, with many of them being deep despite their overall short length. For those who want an emotional game that will most likely make an impact on them in some shape or fashion, there are few video games better than What Remains of Edith Finch. Number 1. Journey. Journey is a game that took everyone by surprise when it was released. It was astounding how the simple act of walking and floating through the air could lead to an adventure that was incredibly beautiful and immersive. The visuals of Journey are still beautiful to this day and show exactly why the game was lauded across the board by fans and critics alike. It's a sublime and relaxing experience that makes for a fresh change of pace from the usual humdrum of loud video games that are so desperate to capture the player's attention throughout the entire experience. And there we have it, everyone, 10 truly fantastic walking simulators that deserve your time and attention when you get the chance, especially if you've never tried this genre before. Thank you so much for watching this video from Game Rant. Have a truly wonderful and happy day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.